Welcome back to the show. There is no doubt the pandemic has been extra hard on the Black and AAPI communities. According to a King 5 News Survey USA poll, more than 40% of Washington residents say little to no progress has been made when it comes to racial equity in America. Here's a deeper look at how this past year has impacted our community.
Around the same time that the pandemic started, there was also very much negative messaging around how connected to Asian people, like the Kung flu or the Wuhan virus. And that doesn't help very much in terms of our ability to just stay alive and stay afloat during the pandemic.
Michael Byun is the executive director of Asian Counseling and Referral Service, promoting social justice and the well-being of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. He says the pandemic affected both the health and the heart of the AAPI community.
This is kind of a double whammy for our communities. I know that the broader community is suffering from tragedies of illness and death that are connected to their family and loved ones and friends. In our case, we had that, plus the fact that there was a rampant increase in racism and bias against our communities. And that's put a great deal of stress, and it has made people afraid. So we had, especially among our women and also older adults, who were very scared or concerned about their safety in taking care of their day-to-day chores and errands outside of the house.
That fear justified. NBC News reported racial attacks against Asian Americans have doubled since the start of the pandemic, from about 4,000 incidents in March of 2020 to nearly 7,000 in March of this year. The majority of those victims are women.
And this is the opportunity to take a deep breath and say, what did we learn over the past year? And how is it going to be applied daily, consistently, until there's real change within our society?
Understanding the root of racism and how to learn, grow, and change is what Lindsay Jackson has dedicated her life to studying. Her organization guides people into understanding what diversity and inclusion really looks like.
When we think about what is next, now we have research to support that you can unlearn something. And racism is taught. Oppressive thinking and constructs are taught. We now understand enough about the brain to say, if I can be taught to fear something, I can also be taught to unlearn that fear. And that's super cool.
So where do we begin? Jackson suggests using what's called a trauma-informed approach to impact each of us on a personal level, because she says people who are hurt others.
First, we have to help the individual understand how they are hurt and hurting, so that they can begin that healing process and so that they can stop enacting that hurt on other people. Trauma is a really great unifier. Because trauma is not racist.
Yeah.
Trauma is not homophobic or transphobic. Trauma kind of likes everybody. And so when we really start to talk about that and create spaces in organizations, as well as in schoolrooms, all over, people start to have a very different conversation around, why am I hurting people when I want to be a good person?
And inside the good that resides in humanity lies the hope. Byun says in spite of the crippling effects of the pandemic, the heart of the AAPI community has jumped into action to create a safe space for those who feel threatened.
There's been a tremendous amount of generosity, and a lot of it is coming from the community itself, our Asian community helping others. And examples are many, and ones that I can cite for you here is like the Chinatown International District Mutual Aid, which is a group, it's an informal group of grassroots individuals who really cares for the community and wanted to take steps necessary to support them, whether it's to provide accompaniment for vulnerable older adults to run their errands. It's about assisting them to get access to food if they're not able to get out of the home. It's about providing additional presence in the community to help individuals to know that they're there to support in case they see situations escalate, or if they see potential harm. So that's a really important example. Another important one in the aftermath of the Atlanta shooting, where 6 of the 8 were Asian women, we realized that our communities are so diverse and the needs are very diverse. And especially for those who are working in our massage parlors, the vulnerability that they have. And so there's a group also called the Massage Parlor Outreach Project that has been doing amazing work to take care of those individuals who may potentially feel more vulnerable after Atlanta. And that and the other example of the CID, Chinatown International District Mutual Aid Group, are 2 really wonderful examples. They're not traditional nonprofits, they're a grassroots group just feel that they could do something to help community, and they mobilize to do things, to take action, to support, to provide help for people who are in need.
For more information on the Asian Counseling and Referral Service, visit acrs.org. Well, kids have been through a lot since the start of the pandemic. Changes to the way they learn and socialize, it's had a serious impact on their mental health. Well, if you're wondering on how best to get help for your child with behavior issues, we've got some professional advice coming up next.